Acoustic neuroma surgery is among the toughest neurosurgical and neurotologic procedures that exist. It's a very delicate area. So it's more than just brain surgery. It's tumor removal, preservation of brain function, preservation of hearing when we can, and then the protection of the facial nerve, which we do the majority of the time.
I noticed I was tired all of the time, and I went to my primary care physician for a sore shoulder. I had a shoulder injury, and he just stayed and said, "Is there anything else going on?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, I've noticed I can't really hear in my right ear. And he said, you're not gonna wanna hear this, but I'm gonna send you in for an MRI, and it's 1 in 100,000 that it could be anything severe. So after about 3 weeks, they called and said, the doctor has a finding they wanna talk to you about on your brain MRI, which is not good news. You don't want any findings on a brain MRI. And so the first neurologist I met with, who trained under Dr. Friedman and had assisted in some acoustic neuroma surgeries, she said, go to UCSD, go to Dr. Friedman. And she said something to me that was so profound. I'm qualified to do this surgery, but she said any neurosurgeon that doesn't only do acoustic neuroma surgeries every single day, that it's unprofessional and irresponsible for a doctor to think they could do the surgery. And it just really weighed in on me of just the gravity of experience in this kind of surgery. As I got closer to my surgery, which was on Tuesday, it just felt more and more stressful. Thinking that I might not smile again completely. I might not be able to hear. And the Friday before my surgery, I got a phone call from UCSD. And this man said, "Is this Julie?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "This is Rick Friedman." And he said, "I just want you to know, this is what we do. We're really good at it, and we're gonna take excellent care of you." And we talked for about 10 minutes. I hung up the phone and I just cried because I just thought, here is one of the best brain surgeons in the world calling me. And I think at that point, I knew I was in the hands of people who truly cared about me. When I first met the team here at UCSD, it was very clear to me that it wasn't just a brain surgery, that I was a human, that I was a patient. But I was so surprised to be able to have the connections and the care and the support that everyone, from the time I checked in at UCSD, the team there was amazing. I just feel like everybody on the team truly loves their job. I never felt like I was work to anyone, even post-op and I needed water or whatever. I just felt like I was in such caring hands. The night before my surgery, I literally could have crawled out of my skin. I was so afraid. I was just afraid of how my life would change. And then knowing I would navigate it, but just what would that look like? The night before, I told my husband to tell me he loved me in my ear, because it might be the last time. I woke up actually feeling so much relief. I could smile, and I was just so excited to be starting my journey to recovery.
As an ear surgeon and as a neurotologist, I'm passionate about helping people hear, preserving hearing. It's not always successful, but for the right tumor, it can be very successful, and it definitely has an impact on the quality of life as we've reviewed our data and surveyed our patients.
Ultimately, Dr. Schwartz said my tumor was very involved with my hearing nerve, and there was a lot of stretching, and I did lose my hearing, which has probably been probably more of a challenge to get used to than anything related to my surgery.
What we've committed to here in our program is care afterwards. What I've learned so much from doing this for over 2 decades with Dr. Schwartz is that what we may consider a good outcome as surgeons, there's more to it than that, and patients need, I think, lifelong help and support. Not all, but we're available for that, and that's what I consider a successful outcome.
So now I'm 6 months out, and I have my life back. It's been a crazy journey, but I'm just so blessed to have been under the care of Dr. Friedman and Dr. Schwartz and the team here. And again, I didn't come here for brain surgery. I came here to get my life back, and that's what I got.